Come on up to the house. Yo, what up, people? My name is Justin Thomas James, as you can see from the very handy purple name tag in the bottom left of the screen. Nope, other left. There it is. My name's Justin Thomas James. Welcome to Sound Booth Theater Live. Requests only. The show where I don't make a damn thing up and I just read everything off of a page. I'm reading this intro right now. Pause for laughter. Yeah. All right. Well, looks like I'm here by myself right now. Ain't nobody else hanging out tonight. People will pop in. People will pop in and people will leave. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a link. Let me see here. My phone. Ah. Oh, I just took a picture. I didn't want to do that. Sometimes I feel like such an old person. There we go. All right, let me make an announcement to people so that they know what's going on. No, I don't want to do a vocal warm-up. YouTube Studio Videos Live. I apologize that I'm kind of low energy tonight. Yeah, I just I drank a lot yesterday. It's the real reason. I was at a Christmas/birthday party, and I was too drunk to turn down really heavy-handed pours from a drink that a friend of mine made me. So, anyways, oh, we do have some people watching. Okay, all right, things are happening on YouTube. This is good. This is good. We got Barry Compton. Yo, what up, Barry? We got Exiled99. Yeah, hello. We have Zior. Great to have you here. I'm Lush. Is that the soap company, the exotic soaps? I am an exotic soap store, aren't I? Yeah, so what are we gonna do? I'm going to post this link in the Discord. Panic at the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, you should do that. Because that's where all things happen behind closed doors. Like this one. Except I haven't really been recording much in the booth. I have some authors that don't want me working in the booth. I'm not going to say which ones, but yeah. So it's like it's an agreement thing. So things are kind of quiet at Sound Booth Square. But anyways, here comes the announcement. We are live with another requests only come hangs. Yeah. I also have a cold. So my voice might crap out halfway through. I might have to call it in early. I apologize for that. But yo, what are you gonna do? Well, we got so many other people. We got Captain 2278. We got Trey Bergeron. I want to say, is it Bergeron or Bergiron? Is it Bergiron? Is it Bagheera? Um, Hello, Trey. Good to have you here. Jean-Pierre Salomon Salmon. Jean-Pierre Salmon. Sorry, I shouldn't make fun of people's names. I'm not making fun. I'm having fun with people's names. Just as I hope that you guys sit at home, you're like, Justin Thomas James. Justin Thomas Shames. I hope that you have fun. It means I'm a drunk. Hey, well, I mean, maybe I am. It's whatever your definition of drunk is, depending on that definition. So I'm drinking tea right now. This is the proof that I'm sick, that I'm not malingering, if you will. Oh, ooh, that's good. Ooh, yeah. What kind of tea? Points to anyone who can guess what kind of tea I'm drinking. Here, I'll even show you the logo. This is Gloria tea. It's backwards. Everything's backwards. Oh, there we go. Never mind. There you go. So now you can see it. Hello, New Hades. Hello, Antonio. Welcome to the stream, brother. We got Fiji Film. It's a branch off of Fujifilm. Did you start up a new company? I hope you did. And if you did, good luck. Good luck. I hope you do well. I hear the film industry is doing really well, and by film I mean like the camera film rolls. I hear they're doing really well right now, so I think that's a good call. So yeah, so today we did the requests only poll, and let's see, what do we got? What do we got? I'm gonna look at the bowl. The bowl. Pff, my God, somebody send me a brain stat. I need it. I'm gonna look at the poll, and number one, first place, we have "How to Be an Adventurer: World of Gimmok" by Damien Hanson. So hopefully Damien Hanson is here. If you are Danny, please. Not Danny. Why did I say Danny? If you are Damien, please say hello. I would love to hear from you. In second place was an item that I didn't vote for. I made sure to vote for all of the things that weren't this, but it still got second place somehow. And that is The Lion King's "Be Prepared," sung by Kermit the Frog. I am a dignified human being, okay? And you guys are trying to strip me of that. So, but it got up there on the poll, so you're going to be hearing it. I'm going to save that to the end. You know what? Yeah. If you voted for that, this is for you, okay? I'm saving that for the end so that if you want to hear me sound like Kermit and sing Disney songs, which actually I love singing Disney songs. Don't get me wrong, Disney's amazing. It was my childhood, basically. Yeah, you gotta wait for the end. Motherfucker. Yippee-yi-yay, motherfucker. Has everybody watched Die Hard yet for their Christmas movie list? Okay, I got distracted. Tell me about Die Hard. The Game of Gods 2, The Death of Champions by Joshua Kern. I will be reading from that. And then I made a bit of a boo-boo. I accidentally saw an email from Danny Katz, who organizes this show. If it weren't for Danny, this would not be a thing. So thank you, Danny Katz. Yeah, so I got an email from him with a script that I just automatically assumed was something that I was supposed to be narrating tonight. I was not supposed to be narrating it tonight, but I got the script anyway. So that is going to be Before Apocalypse: Dungeons of Perdition, Book 1 by Abhisek Basu. I apologize if I did not pronounce that correctly. But yeah, there you have it. So and the reason that I'm doing that was I made the announcement of this is what we're going to be reading, and then I realized that the email. So you'll notice on the poll that that book is not. Is it even on the board? I think. Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah. So it's down there, but we're launching you right to the top there, Mr. Basu. So there you go. There you have it. That's what's on the docket for today. The docket. Oh my goodness, look at all these people. Okay, all right. So Begeron. Oh, like French? Like manger? Très Begeron. Je suis très Begeron right now. Okay, Steve says, I would love you would, but you don't have any brains to spare. Damn, Steve. So I guess we need 2 brains for Steve and myself. Send some Canadians some love and some brains. We're basically zombies. New Hades says what? What is that? I don't know. I'm not going to say it out loud because I don't know if it's offensive. Antonio, what are you trying to get me to say? What are you trying Oh. Oh, I see. Okay, so I can say kek. That is laugh out loud in World of Warcraft. There we go. Learn something new every day. And today is the day. Therefore, I learned something new. Yeah, Captain. I am dignified. Seriously. That would have been a great time for a legit fart. I was just making those noises. How to be an adventurer. Step 1, get a sword. Step 2, get drunk. Step 3, hit things with the sword. That will definitely end up in an adventure. Probably not an adventure that you enjoy. But yeah, you'll be traveling and you'll be getting into um, using a mount, in this case being a police cruiser. Hello, and I'm trying to remember your name. You told me your these symbols here. I can't remember if they're what script they're from, but hello to you. Remind me what your name is, and I will do my best to remember for next time. Sudden exclamation laugh. Cack, cack, cack. Sounds like some sort of creature from Starbound. What a great game, by the way. Starbound. Have you guys played that? I really admire what they did there. Um, Forget the gold, seduce the sword. That sounds like a movie tagline. Forget the sword. Wait. Forget the gold, use the sword. Oh, there goes my throat. Season up. Garfield, yes. Hello again, Garfield. Thank you for joining once more. Okay, so wow, we've got quite an audience. We've got 15 people viewing. This is incredible. This is yeah, you guys are my social life. So thank you for helping me um, stay sane, social. Um, you're the first. This is the first conversation that I've had today, because today I was just a complete hermit. I sat inside with tea. I watched The Terminal with Tom Hanks, where he plays that oh, what's that name of that country? Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan. It's like Kazakhstan or something, but it's not. I think it's a made up country. And he's stuck in that airport. Oh, such a feel good movie. Except, yeah, no, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I felt like the bad guys ending didn't really tie together as well as I was hoping it would, but maybe there's an extended cut somewhere. Hmm. I also watched the first episode of Peaky Blinders, which is a really great show. It's like Game of Thrones for um 20th century, early 20th century England. It's um really cool. Like crime Game of Thrones England. I don't know. There's some sort of combination there. You guys have the brains. You guys figure out what I'm trying to say. You get the sentiment. I can give you emotions right now. I can't give you intellect. I apologize for that. Hmm. I should watch Watchmen. I should. I should. I did. I loved the movie. The series, yes. So what is that? Is that on Crave or Hulu? Is that which network is that on? I have Amazon Prime and I have Netflix. So if it's one of those. The Expanse, I couldn't get into The Expanse, but I was watching less than legal versions when I did watch it a couple years ago. And just like I don't know, I didn't find it all that captivating, and I found the voices were hard to understand. There was something about the leveling, they didn't really mix properly, and so I and everybody kind of mumbled everything, but it was probably just a bad version that I was streaming. That's why you pay for things, because then you get the full quality, and you probably will enjoy the show better. So pay for things. Hmm. Throne of Crimes. That is right. Oh, hello, Sean Kieser. Kieser. I love your crew. Well, we love you, Sean. Thank you. Hope to hear Irrelevant Jack 2 someday. Yes, so I have two projects ahead of Irrelevant Jack 2 at the moment. I'm working on Domino Finn's latest book in the Afterlife Online series. The series finale, actually, called Deadline. And then I'm also going to be doing Kingdom Come by James Osiris Baldwin after that, which I'm 25% through my pre-read now, and oh my god, I'm loving it. Absolutely fantastic. If you haven't checked out the Archemy Online series by James Osiris Baldwin, I highly recommend it. When I first read the first book, it inspired me to learn how to compose video game music, Final Fantasy-esque type thing, because it's very like there's something about the vibe of the book that really feels like I'm reading Final Fantasy. Just for me, that's just what activated in my head. Um, yeah, so first book I did some composing. Second book I did a lot of composing. I did about 35 minutes of new material for composing. Mind you, a lot of that was on like loops, like a video game would make their music like loop it. So yeah, but then Kingdom Come, like I'm reading through, I am a quarter of the way through, and already I'm thinking of, okay, there should be music here, there should be music there. So yes, it's I've got that. And then after Kingdom Come, Irrelevant Jack 2. Irrelevant Jack 2 is next on the list. So yeah, I hope you'll listen to all of that. In the meantime, I'm gonna take more of my medicine. I should have put whiskey in here. Oh, Antonio's listening to Dark Elf 3. Oh, HBO. Yeah, I should get HBO. God damn it. It's just like we're just going back to like cable television now. So you've got Netflix, and that's like $12 a month, and you got Amazon Prime, which is like $10 a month. You got HBO, and then now Disney Plus is a must. So we're looking at $40 to $50 a month for all of these shows that I would like to watch. Just The Mandalorian. That's the only thing I really want on Disney Plus. Okay, Dark Elf 3. Yes, please listen to that one too. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Globally, stop being a ghost. Jeff's taking a break. Jeff's taking it easy. I don't blame the guy. He's doing some traveling, spending time with his doggo, and yeah, he's doing all right. So, okay, without further ado, what do you say we get into some reading? I'm going to jump into the first place contender on the poll, and that is a new release by Damien Hanson. If I do remember correctly, the cover is of 3 characters kind of little rascaling around a corner, and then behind them you see like this devil, this big demon who's throwing D20 or dice, like Dungeons and Dragons dice. You got a D20, you got a D4, you got a D8, into what looks like a river, and the dice are different colors, and he's like laughing, and then these characters are figuring something out, and there's like a rogue, and there's a elf woman, I think, and then there's an orc. I'm gonna look, an orc with an axe, and the rogue is like sitting down, like trying to figure something out. I'm gonna look now actually, because I'm curious to see how close to the description, the actuality of it I got. What is it called? It's called How to Be an Adventurer. World of Gimmok. Yeah, there we go. Oh, he's not a rogue, it's a bard, and he's figuring out his loot. Right. Okay, and then I was right about the elf, I was right about the orc. Yeah, and he is throwing D20s into a river. Good. Okay, it was pretty close. Here we go. So let's look at some of these descriptions. So, cast of characters. These voices, of course, are subject to my whims and necessities. Oh, thank you, Damien. But this is just how Damien imagines them to be. Yenhab. The half-orc barbarian is a salt of the earth everyman whose simple charm belies a great deal of intelligence. He is friends with everyone who will let him, and is he is happy to help out when he can. His voice is firm and loud, but he bespeaks his mind. He is friends with everyone who will let him be friends with him. All right, so he's hopeful. Yeah, he's not the smartest guy. He's got let's look at the picture here. So yeah, he's got these big incisors that kind of stick out the side of his mouth there. So and he's really burly, probably has good posture, and yeah, probably not the most intelligent, so I'm gonna give him a bit of an underbite here. Not that people with underbites aren't intelligent, but I have an underbite, and you heard me asking for a brain earlier, so, um, yeah. That is Yenrab. And then we've got Myrrh. A feisty and friendly woman who stubbornly refuses to be wrong. She's sassy and spunky, a frontier woman who has well taken and tamed a place in this new land to make her own domain. So she's spunky and she's sassy. Ooh, ah, spunky. Ooh. No, I'm not going to do that voice. Her voice is a little deep for a human female, but husky, not grumbling. It's a feisty and friendly woman who stubbornly refuses to be wrong. She is sassy and spunky, a frontier woman who has well taken and tamed a place in this new land to make her own domain. Her voice is a little deep. Okay, got it. All right, that's Myrrh. Yenrab. Myrrh. Dunmer. Dunmer is a happily tamed mountain man. He is very happy with his life at Myrrh's side, and though the common language remains difficult to him, he doesn't let his mistakes fluster him. He speaks with the easy breeze of one who has found his place in life. He has a deep, happy voice that is accentuated by his deep, merry laughter. Who laughs like this? Oh, Dunmer. Ah, yes. Well, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. You know what I'm talking about. Those commercials from the 90s. I love them. All right. Carrick. Carrick is a sheltered and bullied child who grew up into a terrifying life in a terrifying world. He left his home, despite his parents' pleas not to, determined to escape out from under their shadow and make his own way. He dreams of becoming a beloved musician, but his history makes him hesitant. He flinches easily and cowers often. In this scene, though, as he drinks, we get a glimpse of the bold and heroic figure he will eventually grow to become. He throws off his cowardice and becomes bold, even heroic in tone and speech. All right. So he's kind of Carrick is a timid man, or boy. But he wants to be a musician. He loves music and he gets excited about it. But then when he gets excited, he notices, excuse me, he notices that he gets shy about it, unless he's drinking alcohol. And if there's alcohol involved, then he has absolutely no problem saying what's on his mind. You couldn't play to save your hat. I'm gonna be the best musician in the world. Yeah, you give me that loot. Give me the loot. Give it to me. Give it to me. All right, that's Carrick. Tracy. Tracy talks with a serious and dry tone that makes the strange words and observations he makes all the more stranger. Excuse me, I have a cold. He believes in what he says despite the ridiculousness of the statements. His voice is a bit higher pitched than normal. I talk with a serious and dry tone. It's a little bit monotone, and it almost sounds like I'm shouting things, but I'm not actually shouting them. I don't bring things down after I say them. You know how sometimes sentences will, at the end of a sentence, you will fall down like this. I don't do that, almost robotically. I kind of go up. That's Tracy. I'll see what feels right for Tracy. And the scene. Okay, what is the scene? The scene is Yenrab the Barbarian has just entered Myrrh's tavern with her friends after had a friendly war of words in the town's after having had a friendly war of words in the town square. They are newfound friends, and Yenrab needs help, so Myrrh and her husband, the barkeep Dunmer, are happy to discuss and provide it. Yenrab interviews and finds work guiding the strange characters, Carrick, the half-elven bard, and Tracy, the strange half-elven tourist. Is Tracy a woman or a man? An observation. Oh, he. Oh, yeah, he. So I'm looking at the cover. Is Tracy on the cover? Is that Tracy on the cover? Okay. Let's do this. Chapter 4. Meeting the Fellows. Myrrh's tavern was big, blocky, and dull on the outside. its walls made of roughly halved logs, as if the settlers couldn't wait long enough to make proper boards. Considering that this was where the booze was, they probably couldn't. The door was a bit more homey, though, in that it was sewn flaps of treated animal skin, just like the tents of his tribe. Mur and her friends slapped it aside as they entered, Yenrab right behind them. The interior was more crowded than he would have expected for this hour, but he wasn't really sure how these things worked either. They had the booze tent in the tribe, but that was more of a festival thing, and it didn't get dragged out too often. He sneezed a little, unused to the musty indoor places. While her friends spread out to mingle, Mur sauntered up to the bar, a counter behind which a large orc with small tusks was busy serving food and alcohol, neither of which looked well made. Dunmer, meet Yenrab. She beamed as her husband dutifully leaned over the bar to smooch her on the cheek. Yenrab turned his eyes away from that, feeling embarrassed, but not sure why. He dropped his ruck to the floor and leaned it against the bar. He's out here from the Confederation of the Bear, just like you. That right? He queried with a bit of thoughtful hesitation. The Yenrab? His common tongue was thick, slow, and garbled, but understandable, okay? Yenrab nodded slowly and switched to Orcish to better parley with the man. Yeah, probably. Have you heard of me? Oh, yes, I've heard about you, Dunmer beamed. Hey, Mur! He continued in Orcish to Yenrab's surprise. Did you know this is the Yenrab? I gathered as much, she said with a yawn and a sly grin. I'm not much for hero worship, though, and I kept my tongue. Besides, I've been saving that part for you, she added to the bartender's tremendous joy. Gross, Yenrab said flatly. They both laughed. Listen, Dunmer, Yenrab here has gotten himself involved with prophecy or destiny or some other god's awful nonsense, and he's supposed to find an adventuring party. You got any leads? Dunmer scratched under his armpits and sniffed his fingers. Yenrab felt relieved at knowing he could do that here, and so he did the same. Nothing happening. We got the lunch crowd in, and the hunting troop is back in town, which is why we're so busy. They caught regular game meat, but nothing special. So I bought their lot cheap, and I'm gonna grind it up tonight. Tough luck, Yenrab. Why adventuring anyways? Aren't you all about saving people? Yenrab sighed. A couple of patrons, a bit into their drinks despite this early hour, startled and fell off of their benches. Oh my gods! Oh my gods, Yenrab! That is one hell of a sound you make. Intimidating, that is, Mur observed. He smiled back at her. Yeah, I can't really help it. I guess that's just how I am. Anyways, to your question, yeah, I am about saving people. And I saved some lady who just ran off without even thanking me. And then I found this guy that seemed to be possessed, maybe, and he yelled a bunch of stuff about Garag and me burning forever. And then I killed him, and I found a magical book. He began to reach into his pack. Nope, no, and no, she asserted. But no means no, Yenrab. I'm not about to get myself and my husband involved in your destiny any more than we already have. You already told me what the book said you need to do, and that's enough. You're a good man, I can see that. But we have a life here, and we don't need to be rolling around in dung, fighting monsters, and whatever the hell's else so that your great bear can win a trophy or whatever those gods above get when they gain victory. Dunmer looked at the young half-orc with sympathy. Sorry, Yenrab, but she's right. So, what can we do to help you along and move destiny away from us? Mur busted in again. He was told he needs to get a job. I figure we can find him some guide work here in place for ships. It isn't adventuring, but it'll get him some coin and send him to somewhere that has what he needs. Dunmer beamed with excitement. Imagine that! I've already been asked today if there was someone here who would guide the group to Genopolis. They'll be back later," said the bartender, elated as he scooped light brown sludge out of a pot and plopped it into a bowl, sliding it in front of the barbarian. "Stick around, Yenrab, and have some meat slurry while you wait." Night was darkening the sky, and he was beginning to wonder if the two men who had inquired about guides were going to actually come back. Yenrab had spent his time talking off and on again with Dunmer and Mur, and simply contemplating life when they were busy, or that one longer period when they all got grabby with each other and left off for 20 or 30 minutes. Hardly a way to run a business, he had thought, feeling embarrassed all over again. He'd had time to really think about what was going to happen next. He really was going to help a couple of people get to Genopolis. Genopolis? I'm going to say Genopolis. Assuming a good interview with the two when or if they returned to the tavern. It was a journey of at least a month, maybe even two, depending on how hard they were, through a lot of untamed wilderness. He assumed, going to pull them out of swampy mires, save them from drowning, get them out of pit traps and briars, just like he was always doing before the settlers. He'd accompanied the tribe's shaman on one such journey a year ago, to trade pelts at the edge of the great big city for tremendous amounts of metal goods and beautiful beads. They'd refused the blankets, though. He'd make sure to remember to do the same when he got there this time with the employers. "Yanrab!" Dunmer yelled, breaking him out of his reverie. "Your job just came in." The barbarian turned and looked to the entrance. A face not much older than his own looked back, uncomfortable and nervous. Half-pointed ears and angular handsomeness marked him as a half-elf, much as the lute he carried marked him as a bard. Yenrab tried to look into the man's eyes, but he was having none of that, averting his gaze and staring at the floor as he walked over to the bar. Um, Barkeep, something strong. Whiskey," the man shook out, his nerves well overcoming him. Yenrab imagined he'd need a few drinks before he was worth talking to, so he twiddled his thumbs and let him take his time. It didn't take long. A few long draws from a battered pewter mug, and the bard was looking confident and ready for the world. He looked the barbarian in the eye, and Yenrab returned the gaze with a happy glint. "Hello, stranger. I am Yenrab, and I hear you are in need of a guide to Genopolis." The bard nodded, opened his mouth to speak, then shut it again. He didn't seem to know the first thing about what he was doing here. "Here, I can see you are uncomfortable. Let's start with names. I am Yenrab," the half-orc stated amiably, ready to let his fame do the talking for him. There was a silence. It grew longer and uncomfortable. The Yenrab, rescuer of settlers and all that, folk hero of the western reaches?" Yenrab asked with uncertainty. The bard finally answered. "Never heard of you. But hey, if you say so." The man's speech was already a little slurred, his demeanor challenging. "Oh, just great," Yenrab exclaimed mentally. "Okay, I get it. I let my head get too big there. I'm Yenrab, formerly of the Confederation of the Bear, and, I'm known around these parts for being a good guy to have around when you're in a bind. And who are you, if I can ask?" "I'm Carrick Smith, actually, hailing from Chalnaharan," he returned with spirit-laden breath. Seeing the lack of understanding on Yenrab's face, he frowned and said, "Iceguard. I'm from Iceguard." "Ah, yes, Iceguard. So from the same place as most around here. You're a settler," Yenrab exclaimed. Then his face screwed up in confusion, looking Carrick up and down. "But you don't really look like one of the settlers. You've got such small arms and shoulders and sticks for legs." "Yeah, I know," Carrick Smith groused. I look at you and I find myself wondering how you can carry even your own body, let alone the gear for a journey. Have you been ill? My little sister has more substance. Good gods, man, you need to eat. Carrick looked flustered and angry, staring at the floor. Yenrab took note and felt immediate regret. Listen, Carrick, sorry about that. I'm just a dumb barbarian, okay? It's just the tales I heard back in my tribe of the land of Iceguard. Well, it's a place of constant fight and struggle, and heroes of such rugged nature and battle prowess. I was just confused, he explained in a tone thick with apology. If you need a guide, I'm happy to do it. A gold piece a day, 1 gold up front, and I promise that I'll get you there safely. You have my word. Carrick looked up again into Yenrab's eyes. He wasn't angry anymore, just looked hurt and shy, plus a little drunk. I'm going to be an entertainer, Mr. Yenrab. I'm going to be successful and famous. And when I do, I'll remember that you were the one who took me there to that great stage in Ganopolis, he exuberated, seeming to talk to himself more than to the barbarian in front of him. Hey, barkeep! He shouted over his shoulder, surprising Yenrab with his sudden onslaught of confidence. Dwarven spirits for me and my new guide! Dunmer nodded, swiping up 2 grubby mugs of pewter and pouring foul spirits in from a tap in the keg. None for me, Mr. Smith, though thank you for the offer. I have to keep a clear head for our trip. We set off tomorrow. He winked. Carrick nodded and tossed him a gold coin. The throw was erratic, but Yenrab picked it out of the air anyways, without difficulty. There's your other one, said Dunmer, pointing with his chin to a new stranger entering the bar as he plopped 2 mugs of dwarven spirits in front of the bard with doubtful eyes. Carrick, though, did not shy away from the challenge, slugging down half of 1 mug as if challenging his consciousness to a duel. Looking at the entrance, he saw a man in mismatched clothing, none of which seemed to fit him well. He's a strange bugger, that one, Dunmer confided. His name is Tracy Riley, and as the story goes, he came up here to place for ships along the coast via some fancy elven sea vessels, all decked out with ribbons and streamers. Some of the dock workers told me after he came that his arrival surprised the heck out of them. They'd never seen such a fancy ship, right? So they all bowed and kowtowed when the ship docked. They were all expecting royalty because, well, it was a fancy ship as has ever been built, and so they expected some elven king or prince or something to walk on out. But instead, a few elven sailors came down the plank with Tracy here, shoved him to the ground, and another elf threw his trunk of things overboard, and then they all left in a huff. Yenrab chuckled. Tough luck, that. He must have slept with someone he shouldn't have, Yenrab suggested. Yenrab suggested, feeling blood rise to his cheeks as he thought of it. No, I seriously doubt that, Dunmer replied in a matter-of-fact tone. Just meet him. He's weird. Heck, the dock workers said that as the ship pulled off. Tracy there looked happy as a horse in hay, yelling thanks to the ship and then stripping down and jumping into the sea to get his stuff. He wasn't sarcastic? Yenrab asked for clarity. He was not sarcastic. And when he was here earlier, he was just moving from table to table, asking the most bizarre questions and doing some strange things. He's not dangerous, I don't think, Dunmer reassured him. But he sure is odd. Yenrab looked Tracy over as he approached. He could see immediately that he was a half-elf, like Carrick. Also, he looked thin and weak, like Carrick, and he was dashingly handsome. But that is where their similarities ended. Tracy was confident, and as he walked, he spoke to himself in a noble and refined timbre of voice that might well cast confidence if it weren't currently being used to talk to himself. Are you Yenrab? Tracy Riley asked, a half-smile frozen in place. It looked eerie. Yenrab answered, a bit taken aback. Yes. You should know your own name, Tracy chided. Study it tonight so you can remember it next time. Yenrab was confused and surprised. Did Tracy just insult him, joke with him, or was he serious? Oh, and I'm in, Tracy Riley said, throwing him a platinum piece and strolling up to the bar. Beer man! He yelled, before starting to pick silvers out of the bar with wide-eyed wonder. Yeah? Dunmer asked, moving over to him. 3 beers! He yelled in a loud and joyful voice. 2 for myself, and 1 for that monster who is gonna maul me in the woods in a week or so. Oh. And scene. There you have it. A little taste from How to Be an Adventurer. The end. There you go. That was fun, Damien. Thank you. I couldn't tell. So is this a lit RPG? Is this like I'm wondering if this is a story that takes place in the world. It didn't I didn't get the sense that there was someone playing a video game here. I got the feeling that this was like these were characters, this is the universe that the world is in. Yeah, well, thank you very much. I don't know if you're watching. If you are, please leave a comment and let us know, Damien, so you can I don't know, answer some questions I might have, or some of the viewers. Let's see. Let me catch up here. Okay, time to build. Fair enough. Next time. Okay, take care, Garfield. Thanks for swinging by. Dunmer, another name for Dark Elves. Yes, I have heard the Dunmer. I think in Elder Scrolls, I think they are described as the Dunmer, the Dark Elves. Oh my God, my throat. I might not be able to do everything tonight, guys. I apologize. I might have to save one of these stories for another day, unfortunately. I'm gonna get myself a glass of water. I'll be right back, okay? Water. Talking about water. Hydrating water. All right. That was How to Be an Adventurer. Next up, we are going to have let's see. I'm only gonna have the voice power to do one more of these, unfortunately, because just I'm sick. So I'm going to roll a die, 1 to 2, and it's going to be Dungeons of Perdition. 3 to 4, and it's going to be the Game of Gods 2. So bear with me here while I pull up my dice roller. Oi. All right, it's a 4, so I'm going to be reading The Game of Gods 2. And Abhisek, Basu, I apologize for not being able to get to yours. We will add this to the list for next Sound Booth Theater Live. I apologize if you've been watching, and hoping that comes up, but I need to save my voice. This is my livelihood right here. So, all right, one more for the road. Game of Gods. Not what I almost said. Let us do this. How's the new place treating me? Oh, it's treating me really well. It's a great spot. It's like we hit the jackpot as far as houses in Toronto go. Rent here is astronomical, and we found this place that is tons of space for what we want, and it's got a backyard, and it's like a freaking full house. So um, yeah, it's and we pay a decent price for it, so it's like definitely a good find. Thank you for asking. Okay, so in this scene, Charles and his group had just reconnected with his sister, and her boyfriend are helping her rescue the rest of the group. Her group had been taken captive by monsters. Charles is 24 years old, the first human to learn magic after the apocalypse. He's been desperately searching for his sister since it began, tends to only care about those close to him. Kira, 28 years old, she is the champion of the goddess Bridget and uses a warhammer in battle. Silver Husky, Ali is a Silver Husky. She is very empathetic, or empathic rather. Being and always wants to help others. She has the class Shadow Walker and is Charles's animal companion. Oh my goodness. I ate too much dinner. Charles's sister, extremely smart, attending MIT when the gods changed the world. Okay, all right. So this is like a transformation or shadow sun type scenario where the world has been changed, and this is the world as we know it has been altered, and now there are people you can level up and stuff like that. I'm imagining it's like the gods have turned the world into a video game. That's my guess. All right, here we go. Charles braced himself as he saw the puddles jump, having an idea of what might be approaching them. He began to collect mana in his arm, ready to cast a spell at a moment's notice. Ali looked behind her and then vanished into the shadows, only to reappear next to him a second later. "It's a troll, a large one," she told him, her legs trembling from the effort to stay upright. The constant stepping through shadows and fighting had taken all her energy, leaving her running on fumes before the fight had truly begun. Charles nodded and let the bolt of fire form above his hand. He added as much additional energy to the spell as he dared. Holding the fully formed spell in place, he used his control of mana to make the bolt spin faster and faster as he waited for the troll to appear. With a roar that shook the crumbling buildings and the water to dance away from it, the troll appeared. Charles Charles focused on the monster and let Analyze scan it. Troll level 15, beholden to the Goblin Lord. This troll has gone through several modifications due to the experiments of the Goblin Lord's shaman. Its skin is now dense and resistant to fire on the outside. The inside, however, remains as susceptible as ever. At the cost of its intelligence, its strength and willingness to obey the orders of its holder has grown significantly. Charles blinked away the message and suppressed the surprise he felt at the information his ability had provided. He had never seen that much detail on a monster before. That said, it also revealed that his bolt of fire was not going to be as effective as he hoped. "I need it to bleed," he said to Ali as she swayed exhausted next to him. "Sorry, I know you're tired, but I need you to do this one last thing. Find Kira and tell her to make the troll bleed." Ali took a hesitant step forward, followed by another, as she went to follow her nose towards Kira. Charles grimaced as he looked down at the rapidly spinning bolt of fire hovering over his hand. The pressure of holding the spell in place was starting to strain him, and adding the spin to the bolt was preventing him from absorbing the energy back into his body. Carefully, he lined up his arm and let the bolt of fire streak across the space to the troll. Chapter 12. With a scream of terror, the troll stepped back as it saw the bolt of fire coming towards it. The troll may have been resistant to fire now, but it was still afraid of it. Fire had always been one of the troll's primary weaknesses, and the monster's every instinct was telling it to run away. At the last second, the troll picked up several goblins and threw them at the bolt of fire. The spinning bolt cut through the first goblin, turning it to ash instantly, while it created a hole through the second and merely set fire to the third. The troll was safe from the fire, for now. Charles saw Allie stumble away from the group and collapse to the ground, thankfully in an area where Kate and her mother would find her. The troll waited for the fire to finish, killing the goblins in front of it, and die out before taking a large lumbering step forward. Its small, beady black eyes could barely be seen under the bony, jutting ridges where its eyebrows should have been. It walked with a stoop, with one arm longer than the other dragging on the ground as it walked. The shorter arm was a mass of flab and muscle, and had been the arm it used to throw the goblins. With every step it took, its beady eyes remained on Charles, never wavering, even when it stepped on a still living goblin. The goblin screamed as the troll's massive foot came down on top of it, the sound cutting off abruptly, only to be replaced by a wet, popping sound as it was turned into paste. Charles felt that the mana in his body Charles felt that the mana in his body, quickly gauging just how much he had left, and how much energy his changed firebolt spell had taken. He had enough for 2 more of those shots, and then he would be out. He would become a useless liability on the battlefield in a battle that hadn't even truly begun. He had yet to see anything but low-level goblins and the one troll. He knew there were shamans inside the walls, and he had seen something sitting on a throne in the tower earlier. They were being toyed with, and there was nothing he could do to change that. Without the glove, he was too weak. Charles turned away from the troll and began to run. The troll followed him just as he hoped it would. The sounds of battle faded away as Charles began to run, his eyes constantly moving as he ran through one group of goblins after another. The troll stomped after him, crushing goblins left and right in its all-encompassing desire to kill the puny human. Desperately, Charles ran on, sending little healing bursts to his lungs and legs in order to keep going. He was hyperventilating, and the fear he felt coursing through his body was keeping him from breathing properly. Kira winked at him as he ran past. The goblins around her had been smashed to bits. Her normally bright silver hammer was now encrusted with drying blood, making it look like an unholy weapon of death. Charles twisted his head to watch her as he slowed, a bolt of fire already forming above his hand once more. She had the hammer cocked behind her, with her hands spread over the length of the handle. He saw the muscles in her back bunch up as the troll ran towards her, its single-minded focus preventing it from seeing her. With a cry, Kira swung with all her might, her right hand sliding down the handle to meet her left as she did so. The troll was tall, and the head of her hammer hit what it could reach. The head of the warhammer smacked into the beast's kneecap with all the force she could muster, toppling it instantly as it bellowed in pain. Her hammer had crushed the thing's knee, but hadn't broken through the skin. "I need it to bleed!" Charles shouted at her as he launched the spinning bolt of fire at the troll. The bolt hit it in the face, causing it to screech in terror and scratch at its face. The longer arm smacked against its face uselessly, while the shorter inadvertently gouged out one of its eyes. The shrieks grew louder, but still there was no blood that he could see. The rain and tears coursing down its ugly face, washing away any that might have come from its destroyed eye. Kira kept hammering at the leg of the troll, not paying any attention to its wails of pain and terror. Her sole objective was to destroy its leg, and with each successive hit, she was doing just that. The leg she was hitting had turned into a pulpy pile of mush that resembled a tube of sausage more than it did a leg. The magical fire died out on the troll's face, and whimpers replaced its screams of terror. Kira, seeing this, held her hammer above her head and swung with all her might. The hammer hit it in the thigh, and with a snap, she felt thigh bone give way. Tiredly, she swung one last time at the same spot. With the sound of tearing leather, its skin gave way, and a jut of bone poked through with a burst of foul-smelling blood. "Charles!" she called instantly, already backing away from the soon-to-be torch. Charles heard her call his name, and with the last of his mana, formed a ball of fire, not even having enough extra to make it spin. The bolt of fire hit the ground beside the troll and ignited the blood that had spurted there. With a whoosh, the flame followed the trail of blood to the troll and then climbed inside its body. The troll's natural healing ability had already started to fix portions of its leg, excuse me, when the fire entered its body. The monster's changed skin kept the fire inside, while its healing ability worked to seal the open wound. Charles felt his eyes widen in understanding. "Run!" he screamed to Kira before following his own advice. Behind him, the troll began to swell in size, the fire having already killed it. Behind him, the troll began to swell in size. The fire, having already killed it, was devouring the last of its flammable blood. The pressure continued to build inside as the skin the shamans had changed held the fire inside. The body began to distort, looking more like a balloon than a corpse. All right. Charles had managed to run 10 steps when the body exploded with the force of a small bomb, sending him head over heels into the side of a cage. There was a snap as his left arm broke against the bars, and then popped out of its socket as his shoulder hit metal next. A wave of pressure extended away from the blast, downing everyone nearby. The prisoners were the first to recover and were quick to seize the opportunity given to them. The goblins that hadn't died in the blast were swiftly taken care of. Of the nearly 400 prisoners they had freed, less than 100 were still standing. Thankfully, only a few of them had actually died, as the goblins had been trying to subdue them and not kill them. Charles remained curled around the bars of the cage for several moments as he waited for his hearing to return. The world was silent, save for the annoying ringing in his ears. Using the little amount of mana he had gained since the blast, he sent a burst of healing to his ears. The ringing stopped, and the sound of the world returned. Ringing. Why can't I say that word? Ringing. The ringing stopped. The gentle patter of rain as it fell all around him, the soft gurgling of blood as the goblin's throat was cut. "Your arm looks weird," Allie muttered to him as she collapsed next to the cage, careful not to disturb him until she knew how injured he was. "Yeah, I can't feel it right now, but I'm pretty sure I heard it break and then pop it out of its socket," he muttered back as he began to move. His left arm dangled uselessly at his side, sending bursts of pain through his body whenever it was jostled. As carefully as he could, he held it to his side with his right hand, and then with his back to the cage, he stood, his feet crab-walking backward and his back inching up the rough metal. Allie watched him from where she had collapsed, her breathing heavy and fast, and her expressive eyes lidded with exhaustion. "Come on," he said to her, pushing away from the cage. "We need to find everyone. This isn't over yet." "You're right, little man. It isn't over yet. It has only just begun." Charles felt a feeling of dread come over him as he turned to look at where the voice had come from. Oh, the largest hobgoblin he had seen yet was standing on top of the next cage over, his intelligent eyes taking in the remains of the battlefield. "It talks," Allie said fearfully as she dragged herself to her feet next to him. "You can talk," Charles parroted aloud. The red lines that all hobgoblins seemed to have stretched taut as it moved to the Oh, the red lines that all hobgoblins seemed to have stretched taut as it moved to the edge of the cage and sat down, his legs dangling over the edge. The monster was a vision of relaxed authority as he rested his head on the palm of his hand. He looked past Charles and then waved at something he couldn't see. "Of course I can talk. I am a champion, after all. He smirked, his eyes roving over Charles' form dismissively. Unlike the champions on your side of the game, we actually receive certain perks to being chosen. That's not to say that we can't normally talk, however. My shamans, for instance, are actually rather intelligent, though none of them have mastered any of the human tongues. What do you want? Charles managed to ask, his mouth suddenly dry. To kill you. I'm gonna leave it there. I just don't have the excuse me. I don't have the voice power to go all the way to the end, but that definitely gives you a taste. That was a few pages of The Game of Gods 2 by Joshua Kern. Thank you very much, Joshua, for your submission. And all right, who else is here? Okay, so we still got 5 viewers, which means that I can't just bow out and leave the final piece of this requests only, which apparently requires me to sing The Lion King, Be Prepared, The Lion King's Be Prepared as Kermit the Frog. So, oh, my stomach is really bothering me. I don't know why. I'm just a mess, you guys. I got no brain. I'm hungover. My stomach hurts. And my throat is dying. And my throat is dying. All right. Can I do Kermit the Frog? I'm going to find out. I think Kermit the Frog is a good singer, actually. He can sing pretty well. Do I sound more like Kermit the Frog or Ernie? That's the real question. Hmm. All right. Be prepared. Be prepared. By sung by Kermit the Frog instead of Jeremy Irons. Okay. Oh boy. Huh. All right, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to forget the rest. Ah, la 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 la. Ah, oh, ribbit, ribbit. This is how frogs prepare to sing. Be prepared. From the Lion King. No, that's not very good. From the Lion King. I never thought hyenas essential. They're crude and unspeakably plain. But maybe they've a glimmer of potential if allied to my vision and brain. I know that your powers of retention are as wet as a warthog's backside, but thick as you are, pay attention, please. My words are a matter of pride. It's clear from your vacant expressions. The lights are not all on upstairs, but we're talking kings and successions. Even you can't be caught unawares. So prepare for a chance of a lifetime. Be prepared for sensational news. I don't actually know the song very well. A, sh- a shining new era is tiptoeing nearer, and where do we feature? Just listen to teacher. I know it sounds sordid, but you'll be rewarded when at last I am given my dues. And injustice deliciously squared, be prepared. All right, that's all you're getting. Oh, God. Why do I do these things to myself? Oh, God. All right, well, thank you, Kermit, for that. Oh, my God. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Antonio. Oh, my God, I'm fucking dying in here. It's like a sauna. Oh, it's a sauna in here. Oh, my stomach. All right, I gotta go. Gotta go get my life together. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. My name's Justin Thomas James. This was Requests Only. Thank you, Danny Katz, for throwing all these things together. Thank you, Joshua Kern and Damien. Oh, pardon me. My God. Look at me. Damien Hanson. Thank you, Kermit the Frog. Thank you, Kermit the Frog, for your cameo appearance. And yeah, okay. Well, that's yeah. I'm gonna go lie down or something, make some more tea. I hope that you all have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you again soon. We got some great stuff from Sound Booth coming in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned. And until next time, ciao.